Okay, so we're just going to work on the front now. Now the front's going to have a different bay spacing to the end columns than what the rear of the building did. So with our eraser, these grid layouts, well these two here, are going to clear out. We're going to leave that one there, that column there, and there's going to be a roller door for vehicle access into the factory in through this bay, but then the office arrangement is all going to start from this direction through here. Now to help us set this out a little bit better, I'm going to import some more another image file of an image file of the office layout at the front of the building. We've already imported one image file and we've put it on layer 0. I might just create a new layer, open that up, and we'll create a new layer for office, and we'll call it office layout image or something like that, or office image. So we've got an office image layer. We'll change that to be the current layer. So it's going in, that close the layer dialog box, and we'll go and start placing this new office image. So I'll go to File, Import, and we'll have to browse to the directory where the office image file is located, and open that. Yes, and we'll just open that image. Now I'm going to place it down somewhere out in the floor here, once again like we always do, somewhere nice and clear and in that orientation, and then just click once more to give it a size, and just some approximate size for the office layout there. Now you'll have to go and then take your tape measure, and you'll have to measure off the image this distance, the distance from grid Y0. So zoom in very, very accurately. Try and do this as accurately as possible, and it's probably better if we do it somewhere in the middle of the drawing here somewhere. So this grid Y0 extends through, and it appears to be this line just here. So I'm going to zoom in quite deep till that's quite fuzzy, click on there, then zoom out of the image, and then I'm going to measure that across to this other grid line through here at the bottom of the director's office. But I want to pretty much make sure that I am going in green axis direction, so I'm coming a little bit further away. In fact, if I change to X-ray mode, I can actually, in the middle of the command, so X-ray's up here. Now if I change to X-ray mode, I can see that I'm in green axis direction. Maybe I can even hold the shift key down, which constrains me in green axis direction, and I want to come through until it lines up with this column through here. And so it looks like it's somewhere around about, well, even if I do line it up like that, I want to get this grid line is what I really want to get, and something like that. So I'm just hovering at the moment, and I'm picking something like 14,483. So you're going to get a completely different answer to me than mine. I've got 14,480 I'm going to call mine. Write that number down, yours will be different. So I'm just writing that down. In my case it's 14,480. Okay. Now, that was just by way of scaling what you brought your image in. So you've got to know that number will be different for all of you. Now, the distance that you really wanted it to be, yes, from that Y0, here's our Y0, across to this grid line here, which would be the end of the director's office. I'll just do a check on our model. This will all be the same here. It should be 18,675. So you need to write that number down too, 18,675. Now you need to increase the scale of your image. In my case, my image is 14,480. It needs to become 18,675. So I need to get a calculator out and scale up, work out the scale factor. So in my particular case, it's going to be 18,675 divided by 14,480 equals, In my particular case, I have to scale my image up by 1.2897. So I'm going to write that number down, 1.2897. So I can close the calculator then, and then I go and pick my image, go to the scale tool, click one of the diagonal corners of the scale tool, start moving the cursor and type your answer to your sum. In my case it was 1.2897 and press enter. That should now be the correct scale to fit into the building at the right scale. So while it's selected, I'm now going to click the move tool, and I'm going to move it from the intersection here. Looks like a good one. That'd be the intersection of x7 with y0 if we've got a good clear point on the image. We'll try it about there anyway. It's only going to give us a bit of an idea in any case. So I'm clicking right there, and x7 with y0 will be this intersection through here. I might do it in a couple of stages actually, because I can't see through that column. So I think I might sort of click initially just somewhere here, and then I'm going to move it again, and this time I'm going to move it from along that x0 grid line, which I'm not too sure which line that would be. I think it would be this line. Try that anyway, and then that's going to go on green axis until there. Now if you've done all your scaling correct, you should find that on the sketch these grid lines on the sketch very closely line up to our grid lines in all cases. They don't have to be exact, you're only using this as a guide and a bit of a trace to be able to do a trace off, but all of these grid lines here in my case went pretty right. They're all going in pretty much the right locations, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'll deselect the image, so go to the select tool and click out so nothing's been selected, and I'm going to do a bit of a save at that point there, and we'll stop the video and catch up a bit after you catch up to this point.